Good morning, everybody. So I've just kind of done my hair, but it needs a cut. And because it's a little bit kind of foofy, boofy, floofy at the moment. Anyhow, it'll be fine today. What happens is with my hair, it tends to kind of just stick up. And but I think I'm having a cut next week. Actually, I won't go too short on the sides. I normally kind of go and have a buzz cut on the sides, but I think I might just keep a little bit of this blonde in it. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, it's a little bit warm. I'm going to switch off this fan. I've got a fan in here in the dressing room because it's a little bit warm today, warm and muggy. So today we are going to go out to the seaside, and we're about a 15-minute, 20-minute drive from the east coast of the UK, and we because it's going to be really, really warm and sticky, I thought it might be a nice time to go out to the seaside and just show you the coastline on the east of the UK, so you can come with us. But I've just gotten ready this morning, and there's a couple of new things that I just wanted to show you all. The first thing is from a company called Allies of Skin. Now, this company is phenomenal. All their products are amazing. I think that they're very expensive. But I did manage to get a travel size. Can you see that? That's a little bit better. Of their peptides and antioxidants firming daily treatment. If you have a little bit of dehydrated skin, then there are two products that Allies of Skin do. One is their serum, their peptide serum, and that is very expensive. I'm pretty sure it doesn't come in a travel size either. It's something like £190 for a pump. Whoa. But it is quite something. So if you can afford it, I would definitely be going out and getting that and using that together with this. This is a lovely, lovely moisturizer, daily moisturizer, and actually you could use it at night as well. But because I do tend to go on the dry side of skin, I find that this is wonderful as a day treatment cream. I put it on after all my other stuff, and it's just so nice. And you don't have to use much, just the smallest amount. And I think this is 12, yeah, this is 12 mil. So this is going to last me for a fair while because I don't use it every day. I alternate with other things that I use during the day. So that's the kind of first thing that I put on. The second thing was well, like a foundation, but it's not a foundation. This is the Beautify. If you watched my last vlog, I did a Beauty Pie unboxing, quite a lengthy one, and in there was this product, which is their Beauty Pie Luminous Mineral Skin Tint, and it has an SPF of 40 in it. And I did that this morning. The only trouble is I have got the colour light, and it's a little bit light for me at this time of the year. But because I have so many other bases or foundations, I blended it together with, well, this is one of my favourites actually. This is the number 7 Shield and Defend City Light Tinted Moisturiser, and I buy lots and lots of these. This is in a medium, so I blended the two together. I have this little kind of like a lid. This is a lid from something, and I blend them in there, and then I apply it with a brush or with my fingers or whatever, and that was much better coverage. The other thing that I've got when I am quite dark is a Christian Dior foundation, and it is the Forever Skin Glow foundation, and that is quite dark, but it's a little bit more heavier coverage actually. So at this time of year, when I'm actually going to be quite bright and sweaty, I don't tend to use those. So that was my other thing that I used this morning, and I've put on a bit of bronzer. I think it's enough. It kind of, yeah, it's enough for me. Then the last thing are my lip products. So the one that I really, really like at the moment is in my Beauty Pie order, which is the Wonder Gloss Collagen Lip Oil in Nude Nectar. That's a lovely thing. If you just want something that's got a bit of coverage and a bit of, there's no colour really to it. And the other one that I always go to these, I've got quite a few of these, are Max Factor. Max Factor do some really good lip products, and these are their Colour Elixir Cushions lip balms, I suppose. This colour is 005, which is Spotlight Sheer. It has a little kind of doe's foot on it. You give it a squeeze, and the product see starts to come out, and then you apply it. And I love this. I'm just looking in my mirror here. It gives a kind of sheer pinky colour, and it really, I mean, suits my complexion. The other one that's quite nice as well, that suits my kind of complexion, if I can find it, is this colour here. It's a little darker. This is 015. It's called Nude Glory, and it's just a little bit darker than this kind of pinky. Is it pink? Yeah, it's kind of like got a pinky tinge, but it has a shimmer over the top. And I love these. They're great, really, really great. So that they are my new things that I have been using, and I'm getting a little bit wet on the old snoz. Mr. N, I think, is next door doing his stretching and his Feldenkrais. I've done mine this morning. Oh, I'll tell you what I might do is I might do some of my setting spray. That's the Beauty Pie setting spray. So that's that. And now we're going to have something quickly to eat, and then we'll get out in the car, and I will show you a little bit of Lincolnshire towards the coastline, and yeah, a little bit of our lovely coastline in summer. This is a lovely little kind of spot that we like to start our walk on here. You can park in this little area. So this little area, it's a village, I suppose it's a village, called Sandylands. Is it a village, Mr. N? Sandylands it's called. And you'll see it is not far to the seaside. It's not as popular as areas like Mablethorpe, Chapel St Leonard's, Skegness. I bet you've all heard of that before, old Skegness. We are just a little bit more north of them on the seaside here in Lincolnshire. And when we turned off to Sandylands, everyone was continuing down the coast to go probably to Skegness. Yay! There are lovely chalets here, and let's go up to the seaside. One of these for about 25,000, which is probably about 75,000 pounds less than the ones down in the south of the country, like in Bournemouth. I think that they're actually going for at least 100,000. And while we're at it, shall we do outfit of the day, Mr. N? Okay, so I don't know whether you do you have a piece of clothing that you just cannot get rid of and that has the best fabric and wears forever? Well, this is mine. This dress, we're trying to work out how long I've had this dress. At least for 25 years I've had this dress. It is a fantastic shape on me. It is an A-line shape. It's done in a nice ribbed jersey. I got it from a company in Australia called Katie's. I don't even know whether Katie's is around anymore. And it is absolutely fantastic. I love it. I was looking for a pattern to make this dress actually, because I love the skirt, and when it starts to really wear out, I think I'm going to take it apart and I will draft a pattern from it. And on my feet I have my trusty FitFlop sandals that I wear everywhere. I will put an alternative. They don't have them on the website anymore, but I will put a very similar pair on the website for you to have a look at. I've got my hat, my straw hat that's been in the cupboard for quite a long time, but I think today is definitely straw hat time. And I've got my lovely Prada sunglasses that I've had for years and years and years. These don't really ever age. Well, I hope they don't. You might tell me that they have aged. And that's it. No jewellery today. Outfit of the day. So after my lunch today of my quiche and the coleslaw, etc., I came over with that kind of slump that you get in the afternoon. And I was listening to a podcast the other day, so I tried this out, I experimented this. And they were talking about blood sugar levels and having slumps in the afternoon. And they mentioned, I can't remember who it was, a lady, she was talking about it. Oh gosh, if I can remember, I'll write it in the description below. She was mentioning something called nappuccino. And what it is when you start to feel that kind of slump in the afternoon, if you are a caffeine drinker, to make yourself something like an espresso or a matcha or a cappuccino, something quite strong, have it, kind of neck it down, and then if you can and you're still really, really tired, have a little power nap for about 15-20 minutes. By the time that time has expired, you will then wake up and feel full of energy again. And actually, I tried it. I had a double espresso and I went and had a little snooze, and I think it must have been about half an hour, and I woke up and I'm now full of energy. So it is time for me to make my smoothies for the rest of the week. I like to have a smoothie. I've gotten back into the habit of having a smoothie. Not so much a green smoothie. I used to just have a green smoothie, which was mainly greens. I had a little bit of apple in it, a little bit of kale in it. But now with the seasons, I've changed to whatever's available and what I can get. And at the moment, I'm at the allotment picking. I don't know whether you can see that because it's probably camouflaged in there. I am picking brambles and blackberries, so I have lots and lots and lots. But I also have lots of fruit in the freezer as well. I buy those organic mixed fruit bags that you can get from supermarkets, and I kind of stockpile those, excuse me, in the freezer. So, and then what I do, because I have so many ingredients in my smoothies, kind of stockpile them. I do them in jars like this and then I freeze them. It's very popular. A lot of people do it and I've seen it a lot on social media and it works and it's a really great idea. If I don't drink the whole of what I've got in the jar, and usually Mr. N helps me out, so we usually don't have any leftover. If I have got any leftover, then I will put it in whatever I've got, a receptacle, a big jar, and I'll put it in the fridge. I don't really like to do that because in Ayurvedic terms, if you're going to keep something like that overnight, then it's not as good for the gut, because it starts to slowly ferment itself. And I know that I put kefir in mine, so it's already fermented, but it does something different when it sits for a long time. A lot of people do actually, if they're going to make a smoothie, they keep it, they put it in the fridge, and then they have it again in the morning or the next day. Look, that's fine, but if you do want to get the best out of your smoothies, then preferably have it on the day. That's all I'm saying. So I've stockpiled my jars. They're all different sizes, but I do fill them up completely. And I always start, first of all, with what fruit I've got. I always start with a banana and a very, very ripe banana. I might put 1 or 2 slices in, maybe 3 slices, depending on the size of the jar. Then I always go with my other fruit that I've got, and here I have got my brambles or my blackberries. I've got black currants in the freezer. I've got all sorts of things in the freezer as well. The next thing I always put in is a green of some sort, and I mentioned in my last vlog, I think it was, that I've been crazily making kale crisps, but I have so much kale here from the allotment that that's my green that goes in it. Sometimes I use chard, or if you're in another part of the world, silver beet, spinach as well. Depends on what I've got. You can also use frozen if you've got that as well, and that's a really nice thing to have the green in there. Then for anything dried fruit, I usually go for dates. I've got dates on the go, and they give the sweetness. So you don't have to add any sweetness. If you do want to add sweetness, then you can add some honey, preferably organic honey, and that is what I put in as well. So that always is my beginning. So I shove all of that in my smoothie jars. Then I'm on the nuts. At the moment I have got almonds here, and I've got pecan nuts as well. I'll put any nut in. I'll do Brazils, walnuts, any nut, and I put those in as well. And then we start to get to the most interesting part, which is a nut butter. So because I'm using almonds, whole almonds, I'm going down the whole peanut butter route. And Mani Life is I've quite enjoyed it. I don't think it's not organic. Maybe it is. Organic, original, no, it's not. And if I'm not using almonds, I will use my organic almond butter that I get from Well Easy. Now, these 2 things I always put in. The first one is I put this stuff in. I'm going to come around a little bit, around to the camera. This is called True Hydration, and it's by a company called Ancient and Brave. They make some very interesting things. In particular, they do collagen, and they do all sorts of collagen for all sorts of diets. So we're talking vegan, we're talking if you want to have non-vegan. They do a collagen blend that you can take for joints that is with, I think it's got boswellia in it as well. I've got some in the cupboard, so I'll show you another time. But their True Hydration is an electrolyte formula, and it doesn't really have a huge amount of taste. It's a little bit coconutty, but I have it either in some juice or in my smoothies, and so then I'm able to get that. The other thing that I put in is always some kind of protein powder. Now, the new company that I mentioned in my last vlog that I was taking their green powder is a company called Happy Mammoth. And I am sure if you are on social media, this product will be popping up all over the place, because whoever does their marketing is brilliant. They have got, so you'll get things like all the reviews, and there's one product in particular called, which is what I am taking, Hormone Happy. I think that's what it's called. Let me just look in my cupboard here. Hormone Harmony. I'm nearly finished the bottle, and then I'll do a little review about it. But they also do a protein powder, and it's part of their slimming products that they have. So it's called New Slim Complete Protein Meal. I'll put a link. This is all going to be linked down below. But because my eyesight is really, really rubbish, and I would need my glasses on to have a look at all these things, I just wanted to have a look and see. I thought, well, let me just have a look and see exactly what is in this and what makes this so wonderful. I'm just going to close the door. Sorry, Mr. NCAT just came home. Yeah, so the first thing is they have all the vitamins and minerals. So you have your vitamin D, vitamin K, all of that. I don't need to go into that so much. There's a little bit of magnesium in there and chromium, which is important. Then they have all the protein that you need, and they use things like brown rice protein, pea protein, hemp seed powder, blah, blah. And protein's important because protein keeps you fuller for longer. That's why all these keto diets and these paleo diets have been successful, because they keep you full for longer, and your liver burns off the protein. But I will talk about those diets at another time. So that's that. Then they have some digestive helper outers, like they have lactobacillus, they've got some amylase, lactase. So if you've ever taken a digestive enzyme before, that is the enzymes that we secrete, well, nearly naturally, to break down food. And all the bacteria ones like lactobacillus, etc., they are the ones that are in the large intestine that then help ferment the food so that we can then get rid of it. Hope that makes sense. The next thing that they have in here is they have things like broccoli powder. I noticed in their greens, in their green powder, that there's broccoli powder as well. They have Brussels sprouts powder, they got pumpkin powder, I mean all these kind of powders, and that's their greens. Then they have echinacea and astragalus, and both of those are for your immune system. And then they put in the mushrooms, and the mushrooms at the moment are huge, 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 huge. So shiitake, they have the turkey tail, they have maitake mushroom as well. Nothing really, what am I going to say, kind of in the I can't get it out. Other mushrooms that a lot of people are using are things like cordyceps, and they're kind of like the heavy duty mushrooms. They're more medicinal, reishi as well. They work more on your heart, they work on the blood supply, they work on metabolism. They don't have anything like this in here, which is really good, because if you're having this all the time and your digestive system can't break it down, that might be a problem. They also have hyaluronic acid and all of that. So, I mean, there's so much stuff in this. Right, now I'm just going to say something about taking a powder like this. If you have got any kind of digestive, and I will say this a lot, because I think well, I've been there and done it. Before I was a therapist, I think I probably tried every single diet and every single supplement and every single everything that you could take. I don't know why, probably because I have a bit of an addictive nature. But when I became a therapist and I really went into how we digest, and there's a really great saying that the Ayurvedic yogis say. They don't say you are what you eat, they say you are what you digest. If your digestion is compromised in any way, so if you have irritable bowel, if you have constipation, if you suffer from bloating, if you have Crohn's, especially Crohn's and things like a gluten intolerance and all that kind of stuff, be really, really careful when you start spending money on supplements and on protein powders and on gut repair things as well. If you're not sure, I'm going to say ask your doctor. I would ask a nutritionist, because the doctor will say definitely stay away from it. Mind you, not all doctors. There's a lot of really interesting doctors that are very open, but if you know a nutritionist, ask them. But you really, and the reason why I'm saying this, because in this protein powder are all the brassica powders. If you suffer from bloating and you start consuming something like this and your bloating gets worse, that's the reason why it's getting worse. It might be also because you're having raw stuff. By freezing it first, you help your digestion along a little bit more, because you're starting to already break up the enzymes in raw food when it was frozen. So that's quite good, but be really careful if you do suffer from especially bloating. And you know, when you get to that hormonal age of menopause and perimenopause, one of the things that I've noticed especially is bloating has gotten worse. Mind you, I used to get it a lot more when I was younger, but that was to do with constipation. That's not the issue now. So I might go into, when I talk about this program from Happy Mammoth, I'll talk a little bit more about what to look out for if you are going to spend money on supplements, and especially diet supplements as well. If you're interested in me doing it relatively soon, just put a comment below and I'll talk about it, because believe me, I've done it all. So yes, so that's that. And then what do? I just put the lids on the jars, I put them in the freezer, and Bob's your uncle. So I am going to get these ready, and then it's nearly time for dinner, would you believe? Tonight we are going to have a salad, raw. So raw, my gut and raw food is better than it used to be. I could never really eat anything raw after about 6 p.m. at night, because I would be blowing up like a balloon. But I am finding that I get a little bit of the gurgly stomach and the wind, you know, and I get it mainly from burping. But it is better. If you want to eat something raw, then I always suggest put a protein with it. Here I go, I'm starting on diet. So put something, if you're going to have a salad, put a protein with it. So in the dressing, do a protein dressing, a kind of yogurty. Tonight we're doing like a ranch dressing. So I'm going to do a bit of mayonnaise, a bit of, if I've got buttermilk, I'll use that. If not, I'll use some sour cream, or I'll use some yogurt. And there's your protein. And that actually helps in the gut with the raw. I can't guarantee it will be fantastic, but that is the reason that you probably get a lot of bloating if you're a big salad eater. I tend to eat salads mainly at lunchtime, but like I said, luckily I can kind of eat them now later on at night. So we're doing that, and we're having it with chicken. Protein. Yay! All right, let me get these smoothie jars ready. So I was just going to have my greens in some water, and I thought, oh, I haven't talked to anybody about, or to you guys, about my latest purchase. This is this is an important health purchase for me, because I have been on the lookout for something to filter the water that we've got here in this town. The water is just, well, it's full of all nasties, like a lot of tap water is actually. You don't realise it until you filter it, actually. My mum, who lives on a farm in Australia, hasn't got mains water, so she drinks bottled water. So she gets the big containers like that, that's on one of those machines that you can take the water out of. And if she doesn't have that, then she gets bottled water as well. And whenever I would take her into the town and we'd go somewhere and have a coffee or whatever, a cup of tea, and they'd ask her if she wanted any water, she would always say, I want bottled water, I would never have tap water. And I just used to think to myself, oh, Mum, you're just being pedantic. But I must say, when you do start drinking filtered water and you drink a lot of bottled water, which a lot of people who are kind of very health conscious are right into, they'll drink bottled water. That's fine, but first of all, I find that quite expensive. And secondly, it's way too much plastic for me to kind of even comprehend going into the environment. So I have been on a lookout for a water filter that takes out the main nasties like chlorine, lead, PFAS as well, all that kind of stuff. But I wanted something that wasn't too big or too small, that had a really good capacity that I could take with me whenever I wanted to. Say, for instance, you're going camping, you could take that camping with you as well. And it goes in the fridge. However, I don't drink cold water from the fridge. It's mainly an Ayurvedic thing, and I've mentioned before that I'm an Ayurvedic therapist. In Ayurveda, they're very much against drinking cold liquid because of what it kind of stalls the digestive system. So that's why I don't drink liquid out of the fridge. I don't really kind of enjoy the taste either. I much rather have it room temperature, no matter what. The other thing I didn't want was, I didn't want to have to plumb something into my sink here as well, because that's really expensive. One thing I was looking out for also was the filter. I didn't want to have to change this filter every 10 days or so. This filter apparently can last for up to 3 months or 200 gallons of water. So that ticked all the boxes for me. So the mechanism that actually dispenses the water here, you can just see it here, it has a little droplet on it, that you charge. So you take off the whole lid, you can take the lid off, and you take, then you can actually charge this at a charging point. And that's great because you don't have to use anything that plugs in, and also you don't have to use any batteries. So let me show you how it works. The first thing that you do is you press the little droplet and then it goes blue. Hope you can see that there. And then I'm just going to go backwards a little bit. Here is my half of my greens here, and I'm just going to fill it up again. There's a little indentation here in the actual water filter. And then when it's blue, you just press it again. And out comes the water. You can do other things if you want to. However, you do have to come back and switch it off. Otherwise, it will keep going. So I'm just going to switch that off. There we are. One thing I like about this is that you don't have to keep your finger on the on button all the time, but you do have to actually remember to come off. It doesn't come back and switch it off. It doesn't realize when a receptacle is full. So I'm just going to have a little bit of my drink here of the water. Great. I talked about those greens. I haven't got anything in that today, but it is very vanilla-y, I said it before, vanilla-y. Okay, you can also fill up your bottle. Now, if you have a tall bottle, we use chili bottles here. I do have an ocean bottle somewhere, but I can't find it. I think Mr. N has taken it. He's gone for a golf lesson. I think he's taken it. Now, this is a little bit tall for the spout. Ocean bottles fits exactly underneath this. But what I do is I just sit it on the edge of my counter, put the bottle underneath, again, switch it on to blue, and then I just fill up my bottles like this. And because this one is already virtually full, that's that. I used to think that these water filters were a real, not a con, but I did think, come on, it can't be, the water can't be that bad. Well, a great example is, yesterday I was using my chili bottles to water all my plants here in the kitchen, and I was using tap water for that. This morning I came downstairs, had my coffee, and then I opened up my water bottle and had a drink out of it this morning, and I couldn't believe the taste. And I said to Mr. N, have you put something in this bottle? And he said, no. He said, I had a drink from it as well, and I thought that our cleaner had cleaned the bottle out with something or other. And I said, no, well, I didn't. I said that I watered the plants last night, so it was a little bit of water left over. Anyhow, the taste, because they've been sitting overnight as well, and you should be able to keep things in these bottles overnight, the taste of chlorine was unbelievable. So then I just got a glass and I said, let's just taste the water here out of the tap. And we tasted the water out of the tap, and the difference in the taste is unbelievable. This, it tastes soft. If that, does that make any sense? Say it tastes soft, but it does, it tastes soft. And it is lovely, and we go through, there's a maximum and a minimum area that you can fill up. Like I said, there's a little, so you don't have to take this lid off all the time to fill it up. There's a little spout there, and you can fill it up from the tap, and it's great. We use it all the time. We have it here on the counter, and I absolutely love it. So I'm really happy that we found something that I'm happy with. I've used Brita filters before, and they're fine, but they don't, if you want to put it in the fridge, you can't put it in the fridge because they're too big. Unless they're making one now, I don't know, they might be making one for the fridge, but I'll show you how this fits in the fridge now. See, fits nicely in the fridge. I'm going to show you, you can actually fill up your greens again. Wonderful. So there you go. Waterdrop. Did I mention that the company that sells this is Waterdrop? But I think I got mine from Amazon, if I remember rightly. I'm going to put the link down below in the descriptions. Love it. Oh, there's the fridge. So I just got a very exciting delivery. Well, I hope it's an exciting delivery, and I hope I don't muck it up, because knowing me, I probably will. I'm just going to take my watch off because I'm just perspiring. It's still really, really muggy at the moment. I mean, the weather is meant to be on the change. It's very grey outside. I don't know whether I've mentioned it before, living on the East Coast, but we do get quite grey days. Yeah. Anyhow, remember my nails that I mentioned to you? I'd done one set of nails, and they were with the stick-on nails called glaze, and they didn't work for me. They were lifting. Well, I have just cut my nails again because I've got a full day of clients tomorrow, and I have to take these down really, really low until you can virtually see no nail. I've got my little nails. I've got a tiny little bit of nail left, and they need to be cut, because I do a lot of work. I do a lot of acupressure work, and I do a lot of work on feet as well. And there's nothing worse than getting a fingernail sticking into you when it shouldn't be sticking into you. Mind you, I do use chopsticks, but that's a different story. So anyhow, I have upgraded my nail manicure set, so to speak. I went on the hunt. So I thought, okay, so these sticky on nails are not going to work for me at all. I need to find something that is going to work for me, that is going to be hard wearing. And honestly, the only thing that I could think of is, if I go to a salon, that's fine. I can go and have gels on my nails, but I find it quite expensive. And secondly, I don't have a great deal. I'm not really good. I was going to say I don't have a great deal of time, but I do have a great deal of time. I'm not very good at sitting and having things done. Even when I have my hair done, I have to be doing something else, because I just get, I don't know, I have to just learn to just go with it. But yeah, anyhow, enough of the excuses. So I did my research, and I first thought that I would go down the route of, you know, the powder ones where you dip your finger in and into the powder, and you put a product on underneath, you dip your finger in, then you have to buff it down and do all of that business and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, oh, that looks quite good. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's great. But I've never done that before. And I don't know whether I've mentioned to you before, in all the things, all my lives that I have had, I was actually a beauty therapist for a while. Yet another thing that I did. And so I used to do nails, but when I was a beauty therapist, we used to do acrylic nails. So I'm kind of, I understand the whole powder thing. I suppose it's like acrylic, but I thought, no, I'm a lot more comfortable with gel. So there were a couple of companies that I looked at, but the one that I went for was 14-day Mani, and you can see the box has been in transit. It's actually come from Ireland, so they're an Irish company. Okay, so in this box, so this is their kind of introductory box. I think that's what it's called. Let me just double check what it's called. It's part of like their starter kit. Yes, in their starter kit. You get quite a lot in their starter kit, and you can have a choice of 1, 2, 3, 4 colors as well. So I went for kind of really pastel-y colors for hands, and I went for brighter colors. I went for a neon pink called Hot Tamales for my feet, and a green as well for my feet, because I do particularly like green. But in this, you get quite a lot of stuff. It's very lovely. It's very nicely packaged. Okay, let me just change the angle of the camera so you can just see. You don't need to see me. Now you need to see the box. Okay, let's have a look. So you get this little thingy here, and then you get toe separators by the looks of things. That is a cuticle stick. I'm just going to look at my invoice here to just make sure that I've got everything that they said here. Yes, you get a steel cuticle pusher-backer. You get the toe thingies. Yeah, quite a lot of stuff in there. There's the packaging here. And here are your polishers and your different types of gels. Like there's a top coat here. There's a base coat here. So this is all kind of looking familiar to me. So I know how to use this stuff. Oh, this is a nice idea. So all of their gels, obviously in a kind of white bottle, but the color is on top. That's great, because a lot of my lacquers that I've got in boxes, and yeah, that's great for colors. Then you get a little bag here with your buffer and your file. And then, as if I don't have enough of these, oh, hello, what's this? This must be nail polish remover. Yes, gel polish, oh, it's a gel polish remover. And then, of course, you have to have the machine, don't you? And I know that I mentioned in my last vlog about using these machines and skin cancer and all that kind of business. So I am a little bit of a hypocrite. I know I am, but I'm going to give it a go. Now, yes, it's an UV dryer and it's LED. So let's just see what it's like. And what's going to be interesting is, oh, hello, it's fallen apart already. Well, I know for me, because like I said to you, I've done this a million times before. That's your little thingy there. That gives you instructions. I know for me, because I have done this a million times before, this way of applying, whoops, let me put you there, is very, very easy because, like I said, I used to do it as a job. I'm just thinking about how much it cost. There was a big discount in it with everything that you got. I worked it all out. There was a big discount. They had it on, and I'm not sure it was a special, but I will link it below. And then when I do my nails, I will show you what I've done, and my toenails as well. They're a little bit of a mess at the moment, but I need to do something with my cuticles. This is a terrible thing, but this is wonderful while I'm talking about it. I got this little implement, don't know, it was a long time ago, and it's by Manicare. I have to see whether they're still available. They probably are, and I'll let you know. On one end, you've got a cuticle pusher-backer, right? And on the other end, you have this. It is nasty. See, it's like a fork, and you go into the cuticles and you slice them off. And when I say it's nasty, it's because any sleight of hand and you take off all the skin as well. So you do get quite a bit of bleeding. And if you're not very good with your old hands or you have a little bit of a shake, stay away from it. But I love it. I really love it. And I know that's not the way to do cuticles. Well, while I'm here, if you are interested in lacquers, I do particularly like OPI. I do like the Chanel ones, but if you want a really good top coat, you can't go past Seche Vite. I just actually got myself another one from Amazon. This is a great top coat. Again, I'll link it below. So this is going to be really exciting to play with. I think what I'll do is I'll try my feet first before I start doing everything else. Mind you, I'm very tempted to do my hands, but no, I'll try my feet first. Yes. So I'm going to finish here today, everybody, in the bedroom. Well, there's a reason for it. So I got quite a lot done today, but I have to go. It's quite late actually, but it's still light outside. But I have to go to the allotment and water, which takes quite a while. And then I've got to water outside as well. If you watched my last vlog, I think I mentioned about being self-sufficient in veg, which means this time of year is a lot of high maintenance watering. I also have to take some photos of my chilies for a company that I've got their watering system for, and they want me to take photos of my chilies and send them the photos. I don't know. But anyhow, I was listening to something the other day, and I think it was on Radio 4, and they were talking about being productive, and it was all about doing it in 15-minute slots. And it made me remember years and years and years ago, I used to follow a lady by the name of Marsha Silly, I think her name is, Killy or Cilley. I'm pretty sure that's her name. If it's wrong, I'll put it up on the screen. This is going back in my memory banks. And she's a lady who has a company called Fly Lady. And I don't know whether you know anything about Fly Lady, but it's all about, so she started the company about to organize yourself when it comes to housework and running the house. And then she did another book. She wrote another book about losing weight because she lost quite a lot of weight. But it is still going strong, Fly Lady. If you go, have a look at, I think it's flylady.net. Have a look, and you can go on the website, and she does a weekly blessing hour, which is on a Monday, and she outlines all different areas in the house that you might want to work on. There's daily chores as well. You can get emails sent to your inbox, blah, blah, blah. And because I absolutely hate housework, well, I hate the kind of mundane hoovering and dusting. That's why I've got a cleaner, and she's really, really lovely. She's been coming to us for a couple of years now, and yeah, so she does all the mundane. She does all the hoovering or vacuuming, dusting, all that kind of stuff, and she's absolutely fantastic. And then if I need to do detailed work, I'll do the detailed work, because I'd much rather be outside in the garden. Yeah, that's the truth. Anyhow, 15 minutes. So Marsha, oh, now I think that I've got her name wrong. I think her name's Marsha. Oh, it's going to bug me now. She would say, set your timer, or like an egg timer or any kind of timer that you've got, your phone, whatever. Set your timer for 15 minutes and do something for 15 minutes. She would have like a hotspot thing. Okay, set your timer, and for 15 minutes, pick up anything that shouldn't be in a room and get rid of it. Or set your timer, and for 15 minutes, we're going to do the skirting boards, things like that. And I loved it, because I wouldn't go absolutely brain dead with the getting into doing way too much. Because see, this is my problem. I would start doing my housework on my housework days, and then I'd be there 5 days later doing just one room. You know, this is my issue and my fault, but that's how I kind of rock and roll. So yeah, so I'm here in the bedroom because the linen needs changing, and I am going to set my timer for 15 minutes, and I want to see exactly how much I get done in 15 minutes. I know that 15 minutes is a long time, because there's a fair bit of timing that I have to do when I do meditations with people. So I kind of know how much 15 minutes is. So I am going to love you and leave you for this vlog, and I will see you in the next one, and I hope that you are all well. And if you got to the end of this vlog, then thank you very much. And just to see if you did get to the end of this vlog, I love it when they do this on vlogs, because I watch vlogs all the way through. If you make a comment and type the word green, like my bedroom here, green. That'd be it's quite funny. Quite a funny thing to do. And I'll probably get no comments whatsoever. But anyhow, it's fun. So see you next time, and I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. Bye.